somebody else today. There's so many things that you can grow from when you have opportunities. Just go play against somebody else, crowd, noise, band, real officials, and I've found it very helpful, and probably the most beneficial time you'll have during your early season will be the cut of the film after the first exhibition game. If you're playing a game with some good quickness and you're playing a game that merits you watching the film, and I think that does. I love they closed the gap there a little bit in the second half, and we didn't block out the way we have to block out, and all of a sudden it was back to a game, and that's important that we understand. Just in 3 or 4 minutes, things could go south on you very quickly. So miss Muhammad out there. He'd been playing really well, and like if we practiced an hour and 45 minutes yesterday, it was the hour and 44th minute, and he playing a 2-minute game. He twisted his ankle a little bit, but it appears like he's going to be fine. And then we get Duncan in foul trouble, and then he couldn't make a shot. So all those things I think are good. We still scored almost 80. We scored 80, almost 80. We scored almost 88 points with a couple of our guys having minutes or a game at all.
Beilein, Michigan Daily, head coach. So like you were saying with the injury to Muhammad Ali Abdur-Rahman, you decided to put Sean Lonergan in as the starter. So, and that might have been a surprising choice to some people. So what was the reason behind that decision, and how pleased were you with the
Sean knows every position out there, and we didn't feel we were in a point where we wanted to trade people around. We've had X and Ibby out, or X and Derek out there a lot. They're like typical freshmen. They're having trouble. Just the game needs to slow down for them. Sean sees the game pretty well, and he got us off to a really good start.
Brendan?
And with Mo getting the start, what do you think that can do for him and confidence and all that?
Yeah, I mean, he's really, you see the way he runs the floor, and he saw his skill level a couple of times too. So that's big. His development is huge. As you all know, when you have players, they're all going to develop. It's what rate that they develop at determines usually how good they're going to be, because you run out of time. And so I saw some good things. We still, timing on rebounding is something like he reminds me very much of DJ in his first 2 years. He was always around the rebound, just never came up with it. You can see the change in DJ as we just continually work on every day. That's the whole right now. There's so many good things with Mo, though, that we just got to keep playing around it.
And just the sheer amount of things that he can do offensively. Today was finished both hands, went off the bounce.
Yeah.
Just how difficult is it to keep him off the court if you
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have to get out there, like you said. But his defense is much better, and he stayed out of foul trouble. He really understands that. So the big thing is right now we think he can take a lot of guys his size off the bounce. So when we take him off size, now he's got to make an educated play. That kick to the corner, I think was to Ibby today. We didn't get it. That was what he's been working on, and that's really important. That you can play through him. You can throw him the ball in the mid area of the post too, off a ball screen. Now they went under every ball screen today, and that bothered us a little bit. But we got to find ways to get them early in the ball screen instead of late.
Up front with Chris.
A couple things you wanted DJ to be more aggressive.
Yeah.
Were you pretty pleased with how?
Yeah. Just to get him out there, he just has never played minutes like that. I mean, he doesn't ever get in practice, and usually he'd get in there for 4 or 5 minutes, and he'd make a good play and have some time, some things that he needs more development in. So it was today, just go out there, and maybe Duncan's foul trouble was exactly what he needed in that game. So maybe he's got a long way to go, but I love how he's working. I just love how he's working.
And then you talked about the fouls a little bit. How important is it that you avoid those ticky-tack fouls if you're going to be more aggressive on defense?
Yeah, it is important. I think one of the points of emphasis this year is the physical blockouts. And what they mean is it's not about hitting them with your hip and your butt and your upper arms in here. It's about touching them with your hands. And we got a couple of those calls, and we just got to be better at that. But I thought we did stay out of foul trouble, and still got some steals, and we're much more aggressive. And if you look at a film of us playing somebody last year at this time, it was very passive. It was stay between your man and the basket, let them run whatever they want, just contest the shot. And I think we're much more active right now. I'm really comfortable with it.
Sam?
Maybe you said he's felt like the game has really slowed down for him quite a bit over the last week or so. But do you have any sort of offensive role in mind for him specifically at all?
Well, I think a lot of the Tim Hardaway, Zach Irvin model, not Zach Irvin model, because he started on the right side, just become a really good 3 or 2 player, right? And then be able to go out and guard, and that, it is slowing down for him, but it's been really sped up for him and X going forward, because we're throwing him in there. We're just throwing him in there, you know, in practice, and it's whizzing by him right now. So he has really done a great job of applying some of the things. But if you saw what I saw tonight, he's got a long way to go too, but he's got a great attitude. That's all we can ask for.
Come right over here with Kevin.
Coach, kind of along the same lines, Derek said he thought Xavier might have been a little bit suffering from jitters tonight. Is that something you saw? What did you think of his performance?
Yeah, he's like, and it's like all the freshmen. I mean, very rare do the freshmen come in and all this information, and then you're the quarterback. It's all coming at you at one time, and it just takes a minute. So I don't think it's jitters as much as you're thinking too much, you can't move. And so he's over time, we just got to keep working with him, development to get ready. Just like when a guy goes to the NBA, you know, there's a lot of work you got to do because there's a lot of language changing. There's a lot of different angles that change. Same thing when you go from high school to this level. There's a lot of stuff, and especially for a point guard.
So there was probably like a bit of sloppy play, I would say, like with like unforced turnovers and
Yeah.
some like mental errors like throughout the game.
Yeah.
A lot more towards like this end of the second half, I would say. Do you see that more as like just shaking off the rust, or like maybe a sign of something more problematic?
Oh, I don't, you know, I hate turnovers, you know, they just lose you games. So I think there's some timing things, and there's some drills that we do in practice that we've done, and there's similar issues in it. And I think they look at that, they're saying, oh, this is just a drill, this is not gonna affect me in games, and you can see it happen right there. We do a perfect passing drill that is all about some of those turnovers we had today, and it's balance, and it's stepping, it's reading back doors from each other. So, but then I think we went for, you know, we had 2 missed dunks, and we had a couple of lob opportunities that we just, or lazy passes that they're bad turnovers. A missed dunk is a lob turnover. So we have to say, I want you to dunk like crazy whenever you want to. Just make sure it goes through the basket. And so it's we were sloppy in those areas. You're right on.
Back.
We won't be sloppy for all year long.
Derek said that the biggest difference with the defense is how confident they are, and they know that they have to, you know, keep that going forward more so than ever before since he's been here.
Yeah.
What's been the biggest difference from a coaching standpoint, coaching defense in the offseason?
Well, I think it's got to hit you right between the eyes. When we looked at the numbers last year, and we saw it trending up outside the season, and then we said, but it was still like in non-conference, it's still, let's say, 42 or 43. And we tried to address it the best we could, and all of a sudden it's at 46 or 47, and you got a bad DER. So we weren't going to let that happen again, try to address it in the middle of the season. You know, because it's really hard to do that when you got 2 games a week. So we said right from the get-go, we're addressing it all the way, and then hopefully we won't, you know, have the injury issues or foul trouble where we can get guys rest in there so they can be even more aggressive. But there's certainly an emphasis on, just like every year, we emphasize different things, right? There's certainly been a defensive emphasis, but because it hit us right between the eyes last year, we couldn't change in the middle of the season, so do it early.
Go back to Beilein.
It looked like about like 5 minutes into the second half, like Armstrong State was starting to like crawl back to the
Made
game.
a run, 11 points, yep.
Right, and then so like there was the timeout and then the
Yeah.
11-0 run, and I think you held them scoreless for a good 7 minutes or so.
Yeah.
What would you amount that up to? Like, what kind of caused that?
Well, we had actually played not bad defense. We just didn't rebound it at all during that time, and it was all second shots. And it was all and like 2 just careless turnovers. So, just you sort of make the point that all right, that's where you're going to be. That this is the way this is going to be the game. Take care of the basketball, block out your men, and we will be able to defend them and be able to run. But when we run, we want to get. We just don't want to make plays. We want to get baskets, and that's basically the. They're pretty smart kids. And they understood that really well today. But there's no ranting and raving, just calm down. Here's what just happened. You just gave up 4-second shots, and you just turned it over 2 straight times. You threw a lob to the rim that was like, you know, a dream play. It was like, the highlights are highlights because they rarely happen. You can't try to make every play a highlight play.
Mark?
John, you said that Duncan had foul trouble and the shots. Do you think those 2 things are correlated?
I do not know, but right now, he's not shooting with confidence. He's
You're just,
not-
won't be on tonight.
Yeah, he's not shooting, and he can't, and he's just gotta go in there and shoot at it. And so we gotta just go work out and shoot with confidence. No shot's a bad shot, but he's gotta just get through this little thing, because it's happened a couple of times in the last week, and so, okay. When guys come out of the summer, Mark, and I saw it with Patrick all the time, when guys practice, like Duncan practices, which is incessantly long, you can build bad habits. Too big of a knee bend, too slow of a release, not bad arch. And then to break that habit, it's harder than you would imagine. So he got to shoot game shots, and we've been trying to do it. It's almost better he didn't practice in the summertime sometimes, because if you build bad habits in the summer. So this is something, he'll shoot it out, he'll be fine, but he's got to get that, can't beat himself up because he misses a shot.
Coach, we'll close with
And
Chris.
he's a great kid who will do it.
We'll close with Chris.
Your first impressions of John Teskey, he didn't
Yeah.
hesitate to shoot that.
Yeah, I
one.
loved it when he just knocked that in, beautiful rotation. He's a big boy now, and he's really had a couple good weeks of practice. So he's gonna be trying to work like crazy to get one of those spots in that rotation. And what you saw from Austin Davis in just the 2 or 3 minutes, I'm trying to get Mo minutes, trying to get Mark minutes. It is really hard to do that, so, but Austin went in there, he catches everything. Austin just catches everything. And as you know, that's important for a big man. But John was really, he's just really, the game is not too sped up for him, and he's really got very coachable as well.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks, everyone.